Okay, what kind of messages should we put in here for our family that don't listen to us? Yeah. Bono, if you're listening, come over and smoke a bowl with me. SOS. Smoke signals sending your way.
Hit it.
They're here.
Don't cross the streams.
Bueller.
I'll have what she's having.
Great Scott!
Why did it have to be snakes?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Bueller.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I'll be back.
I am your father.
Bueller.
I feel the need. Grenade first aid.
It's showtime.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm very tired. It's been a long day. I'll tell you a little bit about my day.
Okay, tell
Just
me.
a little bit, though.
Tell me.
So I got a job.
Yay!
So that was easy. Interview, and I got a job. I went and dropped off soup for a sick friend.
Oh, that was sweet of you.
Yes. However, she's in Prineville and on the opposite side of Prineville, like out in the boonies. So
okay.
think Castle to Day Road.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Which is fine. I said I would do it.
Yeah.
And then I looked and I was like, damn. But it was really nice drive and I got to listen to music.
Yeah.
And I got to have time to myself today while I did a whole bunch of things.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Right? I took both kids to school this morning too and we walked.
Oh.
And Eli is such an almost 3-year-old. He insisted on wearing his shoes wrong on opposite feet, and he had his backpack on that was really heavy, and it kept pulling down his pants as we're walking to school, so I carried him half the way.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then he went to daycare, and I did all my things and got him back at like 2:30, and Asher had chess club today, so I picked him up at 5. There's other things I did in there. Oh, I had a doctor's appointment. I did a lot of things today.
Wow.
I'm tired.
Jesus. Sounds like.
But I wasn't going to cancel on this. Because I don't know when I'd be able to do it again, you know?
I feel you on that one.
But yeah, tell me about your day. Was it as exciting as mine?
No, it was frankly quite boring compared to yours. I straightened out some renter's insurance stuff. I paid a doctor bill, and I brainstormed for a new book series that I'm writing. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Anything you can share with your brainstorming?
No, not yet.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm one of those authors.
It's okay. I get it.
Really, not a lot's going on over here. I forgot to tell you. We started watching Boba Fett.
Oh, yay. How are you liking it?
I only watched the first 2 episodes, so I'm sure you are aware of how I'm liking it so far.
Yes.
It's a little rough, but it's funny. I like it.
It gets, like, worse and then better.
Okay.
Well, did you see the Power Ranger vehicles?
The
I don't even know how to explain that.
The train?
Nope, you're not there yet.
Nope, I'm not
Don't
there.
worry.
Okay.
You'll know what I mean when it comes up.
Okay. I'm just going to text you, Power Rangers.
I'll send you some memes after you get there.
Right. I mean, you shouldn't be
nice.
surprised that I'm so far behind on this one. I didn't even watch Game of Thrones until the last season was about to air.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, do you like the music? That little...
Yeah, the little motif and the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. And I like how it's almost a variation on the theme that they're using for The Mandalorian, too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It does get better, I'm telling you. It does.
Okay.
So just
I'll
hold on.
I'll hang tight.
Well, and the funny thing is I still haven't finished it yet.
Oh, now that's funny.
I'll get there. It's just so busy, and I don't even, like, have time to watch the shows I want.
I know what you mean.
Let alone, like, watch a movie for this, and this week's episode.
Oh, yeah, but But for real, though, this movie was pretty great to put everything else on pause and sit and watch it, wasn't it?
You think so?
I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, it's hilarious, but we gotta talk about it.
Yes, we do.
Now I'm like, okay,
We're just trying to wake up. I mean, it's 6 o'clock. We're not used to recording.
there's that too. But this movie, I feel secondhand embarrassment so much.
Oh, okay, yes. We're going to jump into that. Let's remind everybody what we watched. By the way, we are the Silver Screen Sisters. Welcome back, now that we've chatted for a little bit. And this week we watched License to Drive, 1988. It had Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Heather Graham, a whole lot of people.
Carol Kane and Richard Macer. Mm-hmm. Some people.
As if I know.
That we know.
Yeah.
But actually, I didn't really know anything about the Coreys.
Oh.
At all.
Oh.
I miss these kids.
Oh, yeah. I only know a little bit. I don't know too much. Robert made me watch The Lost Boys like a couple years ago, so that's how I know them. And I know you haven't watched it.
Can you tell by my face?
I could tell by your face.
I don't watch a lot of things, okay?
That's why we're doing this, right?
Yes.
So Corey Haim and Corey Feldman are actually both in The Lost Boys as well. Do you know what The Lost Boys is about? It'll come up a little bit later because there was actually a little Easter egg in this movie about The Lost Boys, and I'll point it out.
Oh, sweet. I know that they were in, 9 movies or something together.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a list.
Yes.
So.
Oh, well, let's bring on into it. What kind of trivia do you have for us?
Well, there wasn't a lot on this, background like other movies. So this one's going to be pretty short and sweet, simple, if you will.
Cool.
I did learn about the Coreys, Corey Feldman and Haim, childhood actors in the 80s. They were close friends and also kind of like rivals when it came to roles and stuff. But overall, really good friends. Yeah, they did a lot of movies. Real quick, the list. The Lost Boys was the first. And apparently I have to watch it.
Yes, you do.
And then this movie, License to Drive, then Dream a Little Dream, Blown Away, National Lampoon's Last Resort in 94.
Oh, dang.
Dream a Little Dream 2, Busted, Big Wolf on Campus is a TV series. Oh, it's just cameos. And then a couple other little things. And then they did a TV series, The Two Coreys, from 07 to 08. And then the Lost Boys, The Tribe in 2008. Have you heard anything about that?
No.
Okay, so I'm scared to look into it, but we might want to.
Okay, if we pull The Lost Boys, we'll have to pull that too. We'll have to look into that.
Corey Hames, he is no longer with us. He died in 2010 due to, I think, pneumonia.
Yeah.
He had drug problems, and I think that didn't help.
Yeah, he struggled a lot after he was a childhood actor.
Yes, I think both of them did.
Yeah, I think Corey Feldman came out just in 2020 and released this whole documentary thing about how him and Haim were abused as childhood actors, I think.
Yes, it's called My Truth, The Rape of Two Coreys.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's kind of dark, but also it's nice to see him tell his story.
Yes.
And to know things have changed, and obviously we got to talk about these things for anything to change.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
But yeah, so there's the background on the Coreys. For this movie, License to Drive, fun fact, neither Corey or Corey had driver's license.
Now that's funny.
During the filming.
I believe it.
Corey Feldman, who was Dean, he originally auditioned for Les and didn't get it. And I feel like I read that this happened 3 or 4 times.
Oh.
They were really rival
Yeah.
to get that main part. Also, fun fact, Ben Affleck tried out for the role of Les Anderson. I'm not a big fan of Ben Affleck.
I know, you know what? Me neither. Yeah, me neither. There's talent there, but it's not my cup of tea. Okay, moving on.
Yes. Heather Graham's, it was her first substantial role. You know how, like some people don't age and they always look the same. She has like aged beautifully.
Yes.
You know, like all the timeline of like growing up, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But anyways, they bought 9 Cadillacs for this
I was
film.
going to say, that's pretty, yeah, they would have had to.
Carol Kane. Mm-hmm. I only saw her in Kimmy Schmidt. I had no idea who she was before. Like, what she's been in. Do you know what else she's been? Mm-mm. Okay.
She looks vaguely familiar. I think I do know that she was in SNL for a little bit, but other than that, I don't know.
Oh, nice. What? Wait, I'm going to just read this to you. As mentioned by Les Anderson early in the movie, the Cadillac actually was 16 years old at the time of filming. It was, in actuality, a 1972 sedan DeVille.
Oh.
All right. Okay. Well, there's a car fact I found. Oh, and this one's disturbing. This is just a disturbing fact. And then I'm done. The woman in one of the posters in Dean's room is Nicole Brown Simpson, ex-wife of O.J., who was murdered in 1994. I didn't catch that.
That is not her in that picture that he stuck Mercedes Lane's picture over, did he? Like,
I don't know. I don't think it was that. Maybe it just says in one of the posters in his room.
Oh.
So next time you watch it, look for it. So, anyways, disturbing.
Wow, that's really kind of creepy.
But yeah, there wasn't a lot of big facts around this movie. Mm-hmm. Pretty cut and dry. It was made and they moved on. We all moved on.
I don't know about you, but I felt like this was like the quintessential 80s flick. Like if you talked to somebody and said, I want to watch an 80s movie, this might be the movie. I say, okay, we're going to watch this one. And this is the 80s movie that you really want deep down in your soul.
Are you sure? Because I might pick a Rat Pack movie
Oh,
first.
yeah, there's that too, I guess. But, I mean, this just had all of, like, the really pop culture.
I was going to say culture.
Popular...
I liked her dress.
Yeah. Like, it had, like, some... Like, it was just quintessentially 80s. You look at it, and you're just like, oh, my God. She's wearing an 80s Barbie doll dress. Absolutely. Granted, it does have its flaws. We're going to get into it. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, good. I'm going to need some M&Ms for this.
I just had an M&M McFlurry, actually.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Satiate my inner fat kid.
All right, so why don't you start us off with the music?
So the music was composed by Jay Ferguson, and that's not a name I was really familiar with, honestly, so I looked up a little bit. He is actually an American rock and pop musician, but he actually started composing for film and TV after a little while, and that's what he's been doing. I think he has something like... I didn't write this down, but I think he has something like 15 feature films underneath his belt and stuff. But
all right,
you guys might all know him best for the song Pictures of You from The Terminator or The Office, the theme song for The Office, the American version. So yeah, that's all I really know about the composer. Cool dude. I like the music. I don't know, it didn't get in the way, didn't make a statement. It was just there and it fit. And I think that was actually a job well done.
Nice. I don't remember the movie because of my secondhand embarrassment.
Oh God. Okay, yeah.
I struggled with this movie, Billy.
I hate lying main characters. I can't stand it. I absolutely just... now that I've seen it and I know how everything works out, I can handle it. But oh my gosh, like the way that he would just lie about everything.
I don't care if he lies. It's just it kept getting worse and worse.
Yes.
And it's like, ugh.
Like, why don't you just say that you didn't have your license? Why don't you just say that, you know. But yeah, so...
Did you do anything when you got your license that you weren't supposed to do? Because I had done quite a bit of things.
You know, I really don't think I did break any rules. I mean, you know me. I was a straight shooter. I didn't do shit.
Okay.
What did you do?
I did things and stuff. It's fine. So I'll tell you one. I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
When I lived in Reno and I had my license already.
Shit.
It was like 3 a.m. and I was coming back from a party.
Oh.
And it was the year where it snowed so bad in Reno.
Oh, 2005.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I was on the way home and I hit ice at like 40. And I did like 3 180s like off the road.
Uh-huh.
And like my car stopped and I was like, oh my God. And the person behind me like kept driving. And I was like, what if I'm stuck here? My car won't turn on. And I was like, well, I guess I got to turn it off first and then turn it back on. And it was fine and everything was fine. But since that happened, I would like go super fast if conditions are dry. But once it was rainy or snowing, I would like slam on my brakes and go like 10 under. And people noticed, too, in our town.
Oh, yeah.
When I went back home, they were like, we noticed that you have problems.
Let's just start this. I loved the nightmare montage in the beginning. Like,
okay, I give it credit for the opening scene. That was amazing.
That
and
was
funny.
hilarious.
The whole dream.
Yes.
You could tell it was a dream. I felt like our bus driver was just as scary.
oh, God,
while we were
yeah.
going to school.
So, yeah, no, they did a really great job with that whole scene. Like, oh, my God. Yeah.
I like the driving in this whole movie, like the action pack, chasing, and even
Yeah,
the bus.
a bus chase scene, like, and then the epic guitar. I actually did right here, so epic, especially the guitar right in this point, because it was pretty awesome. And then it becomes quite apparent that yes, he's just sleeping in class.
And he wakes up, and I should have realized that his sister was his twin sister.
Yeah, I didn't put
And
that together right
didn't.
away either. I even missed the part where she said, or where they figured out that she was his sister. It wasn't until like when she was on the bus and sticking her tongue out at him, and they said something about him being his sister, that I was like, okay, I don't know, I missed that a little bit.
When they go, because you said she got on the bus, because after he woke up, it showed the end of the day, because he got detention or had to write out stuff, so he's late for the bus, and so his friend Dean shows up, and they like watched Mercedes, who is Heather Graham's character, be with her boyfriend in this like sick car.
Oh,
what was it?
Yeah. Oh,
Red convertible something.
I think it was a Corvette.
Corvette.
I don't remember.
I'm not a cars person, okay, guys? I'm sorry. So they drive off, and he drives like a douche. And Dean offers Les a ride home
That
on
was
his bike.
so funny. To be fair, like I never would have put 2 and 2 together that the Coreys had such a strong rivalry with getting parts, because they like were best friends.
Because they're also best friends.
Yeah, and like you could tell, like part of that obviously was acting, but part of that was not acting. Like it was pretty fun watching them. Like, can you imagine how much fun they must have had trying to balance Corey Haim on the handlebars?
Oh, yeah. I think about back in the days, our bike days.
Right?
But anyways, he gets home.
Yay, he gets home.
And yeah, and then we meet the fam. By the way, didn't the parents seem like they just never left the 70s?
Yeah.
They were very old school, and old school for the 80s.
I guess, yeah. Well, I mean, what's funny is I legit have pictures of Dad, and he looks almost identical to the dad in this movie, let's be real.
With the facial hair and the glasses.
Yeah, the mustache, the glasses, the hair, the button-up. That family is interesting. Like, what's the intercom in the house, number one? How many kids did they have?
1, 2, 3... I thought just the 3, and then she was pregnant.
And then she had 2 more, the twins.
With another
Okay.
set of twins.
Okay. It's just that house seems so chaotic. It felt like there was 16 kids in there instead of the 3.
That's why I stopped at 2. Some people debate that after 2, it gets better with every kid you get. And I'm like, well, I want to stop at 2.
I don't want to find out.
Because already, this is good.
Yeah, right?
I love my kids. And, I mean, you've got to have a big heart to have more kids. And
Yeah, of course.
You know, obviously I think I could do it, but I chose not to.
Yep.
So, I chose it for my sanity.
I don't think anybody would fault you on that one.
Okay. But yes, The sister talking at dinner.
Oh my God. Okay, well, number one, can we talk about the mashed potatoes and the ketchup craving?
Yeah, that was gross. Everything, they were like, what's the most extreme pregnancy cravings
And they
we
threw
can give
them
this person?
all in this movie.
And it was so gross, but...
Anyway, sorry, I cut you off. You were about to talk about the sister hippie chickadee.
Well, she was like talking about like protesting and like and Les getting his license and wanting a car and the like materialistic things or the materialistic costs.
It was
with
so
cars.
funny. And then the little brother's like, or not was it the little brother or was it actually Les that said, who cares what your commie boyfriend thinks?
I don't care who said it. It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Because, communism's just a red herring. That's what I thought when that was said.
I thought, too. I was like, God damn it, here we go again.
And then I wanted to watch Clue.
I know.
But, anyways.
So, yeah. I thought it was really funny, though, because you can tell that the kids definitely have a sense of individuality, which was nice. And I can tell that even though that house is chaotic, it's really clear that mom and dad really love not only each other, but the kids.
Yes.
It was pretty cool. So, and that doesn't make... that's what makes this movie so ridiculous to me in some ways, because why would you hide the fact that you failed your driver test from such supportive parents? I mean, well, granted, if you're that embarrassed,
I was going to say we didn't see... We only saw a second.
Okay, there's that. All right, fine.
A lot goes into parenting.
I just hate that. It makes me so stressed.
This whole movie was stressful. After basically him leaving this house right now, I was like, oh my God. Well, because his friend showed up and was honking the horn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't just sit there as a parent. I'd go outside.
Yeah.
And be like, what are you doing?
That was so funny.
Right.
But number two, though, on that one, Dean's mom just let him do that? Where were the parents?
That's the thing. Dean's mom was in the car. And so I thought of Mean Girls with Regina's mom. Like, can I get you anything? Try to be cool.
Yeah, right? That's very true.
Don't do that, moms. You don't need to be cool.
We're going to have to do, some sort of bonus watch party just for that movie alone.
Yes, I love that movie.
I love that movie. I shouldn't, but I do.
I was going to say we all shouldn't, but
you know what?
I think people love it so much because they kind of villainize the main person who's good, and they gave the villain more soul and you can forgive her. But anyways,
it was amazing writing by Tina Fey. Amazing writing. Point.
Yes.
Just 0. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
But back
moving
to
on.
this movie. Sorry. Anyways.
Okay, so they're at this party. So they start, chatting to one another, and they're like, okay, what car would the girls lose their virginity in? And so they start speculating what kind of cars these girls would be losing their virginity in. And I about died.
And I wasn't in the mood. For some reason, I'm like, look at these guys objectifying these women.
They're hormonal
and I don't know why I went
boys.
that way. I mean, it is all valid. This happens when we're teenagers.
Right?
I get it. But
so yeah, Heather Graham shows up.
Yes, and
looking
she was
so
looking
stinking
super cute.
Yeah, Jinx.
Now I owe you Coke. Not to be mistaken with crack. But anyways, so yes, Mercedes is pissed off now, and she's like, well, I'm going to the dance with somebody else. And I don't know why people do this, and then they just pick the first person right there.
Right.
Which so happens to be Les.
Right. It wasn't cliche before, but it is now.
Yeah. So that happened. Pablo leaves. And then...
Did you call him Pablo?
Wasn't it Pablo or something?
Impalo, I think. Yeah, Impalo.
Paulo?
Yeah.
And Impalo? Okay, Paulo. I mean, Paulo, who cares? So anyways, they go their separate ways, and I think he sees him Les sees Mercedes at school, and then later on with his dad when he's driving Grandpa's car.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, which if you don't know, Grandpa traded his car with Les's dad's car because he was going on a road trip or something, and he doesn't drive his caddy on long trips.
Yeah. So I thought this was really cute. Like, Dad was all gung-ho about, yeah, let's give her a cruise. And then Les, being a typical teenager, was like,
if I drove by her with you in the car with me, no offense, it just wouldn't work. You understand?
Les, you're asking me to let you drive this car alone without a license? Are you crazy?
Dad, I'm just gonna go up to her, circle around, maybe at the least say hello to her, and come right back to you. 2 minutes.
And I felt so bad for Dad because he, like, was like, oh, bring it right back. But then he, like, ended up taking Mercedes home.
oh,
I would not have done that in front of my parents.
oh, absolutely not. I would have legit died if I had done that in front of our parents.
Yeah. But anyways, he wasn't very smart. So now, after that whole thing, and he picks
Oh my
up
God.
his dad again, who's all
He's
pissed
stumbling along like the Walking Dead. Poor guy.
Then it cuts to the driver's writing test, where Les is like, oh, I totally got this. And it was so annoying how the thing was like, incorrect.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so Les fails the written. The computer malfunctions. And this is where we have a story and a movie because the main lady
Yeah.
at the driver's ed department.
Oh, you mean Winifred Sanderson?
Yes, her. Yeah, so she only had a broom and 2 other friends.
Yeah, right?
She was like, just because your twin sister has such good high score, we're going to let you drive. And
Yeah.
I remember taking... Did you take both tests at the same time? I swear I took them separately.
I took them separate, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think it was a whole day thing.
No, it wasn't.
But,
You had to pass the written test first before they would even schedule the driving test.
Buckle up, son. It's the real world out here. Now, Anderson, I want you to take a long, hard look at this cup of coffee. Now, I love my coffee. It's probably the one thing I truly do cherish on this godforsaken mudball called Earth. Now, what I'm trying to say is that most examiners use a clipboard. I don't believe in them. What I do believe in is my cup of coffee. So it's real simple. You burn me, you fail. You don't, you pass.
I did read that Les did all of his own parallel parking in
Stop.
the movie.
Nicely done,
Yes.
sir.
I'm guessing he didn't do the ones where he, like, skidded into the parking place, but he did parallel park the car.
Probably, yeah, he probably had somebody else do those.
So he made it back, and I like how they put in that whole he's driving a little too fast and almost hit someone.
Oh, yeah.
But the coffee
Yeah.
mug flew, but it was like empty, so
Yeah.
he was like, it's your lucky day.
Yeah, right?
But it wasn't.
I know. It's so weird, like, his luck changes on a dime a lot in this movie.
Again, secondhand embarrassment for a lot of things that happened to him. Which he did to himself. I mean, he failed the test, so...
I know, right? But, like, so Winifred Sanderson comes marching down, and she's like,
God giveth, and the DMV taketh away. You mustn't fuck with the Department of Motor Vehicles, Mr. Anderson. We can make your life a living hell.
When she said that, I was like, what is the rating of this movie?
yeah, right?
It's PG-13, which I thought...
I think
I didn't know
there's
how to
only a
gauge
limit
anymore.
of how many times you can say the word fuck. I think it actually is only once.
Okay.
Or something
Well, that's
like
when
that.
they said it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But then he has to go and lie to his parents. I just fucking hate that shit. I hate that shit. It makes me so stressed.
This is when the movie turned for me. So,
Like, for the better or for the worst?
the worst. It kept turning worsely and worse.
In the more worse. Okay.
I didn't know if it could get worse, but it
But
was like...
it
I
pretty
could.
much did, yeah.
He lies to the parents, but they find out that he lied. And so he obviously doesn't have his license. And then that whole night, it's the setup for the night. Natalie's boyfriend picks her up.
Yep.
And did you notice he calls her, like, Natasha? all
Oh,
through
really?
it? Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Well, I noticed it because my friend Tasha
Black Widow in MCU, her name's Natasha, but they sometimes call her Nat or Natalie. I think in the comics they call her, like, one of her aliases is Natalie.
So is this a Marvel reference?
No. Oh my god, it's the 80s. No.
Okay. Was there no Marvel in the 80s?
Well, yeah, Howard the Duck, but we don't talk about that movie, all right?
Okay, we won't. We're still talking about this movie.
So yeah, and then, like, not only is he, like, caught out on his lie, which for me, I was like, phew, like, at least we don't have to go through a whole movie where this kid is just trying to lie and lie and lie and making shit worse to cover up his lie. I hate that. But then, like, he goes and fucking takes the car anyway.
Yeah, because Mercedes calls him at 11:15.
Yes, about that.
On a Saturday. So... this was common in Reno.
Oh!
Not common in the sticks.
I was going to say, I don't, like, to me, this is a culture shock. Because I don't know anything about somebody calling me at, like, 11 p.m. to go out.
Dude, I used to go get with friends, even on weeknights, and we would, like, they would take forever to get ready, and it'd be, like, 10:30, 11. Okay, we're all ready to go. And I was like, I can't handle this. I had to wait a couple weeks, like every other week. Maybe I'd go out once one night. But, yeah, it was a thing. But
dude,
anyways.
No. Don't. I'm glad I grew up in the sticks.
It was fun, but also it was okay if it didn't happen. It's just, kids are always going to get into something, you know, so fuck it.
Right? Another reason why I was like, oh yeah, this is the quintessential 80s movie is because, you know, fourth wall breaks.
I saw that.
Yeah, at this point, he's like, an innocent girl, a harmless drive. What could possibly go wrong? I'm like, yeah, that's the tagline of this whole flippin' movie.
And then I was like, secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, here we go.
It hurt me. It hurt me so much because then he tries to, like, push the car out.
Oh, my God. Well, number one, that garage door would have woken up his parents anyway, but okay.
Yeah.
So he pushes the car out, and I'm like, dude, this tiny-ass little kid is pushing that big-ass car? No.
Obviously, it went away from him and rolled through the lawn and the bushes. Already, bad start. Broke the light in the garage.
That was funny. I was like, why is he unscrewing the light bulb? But now it makes sense later.
So yeah, he drives off. Where does he go? To go pick up Mercedes.
Mm-hmm. Did you like how often the mom kept waking up throughout this whole movie as if she was going to be going into labor?
Well, again, it's that intensity of, like, is he going to get caught?
Yeah.
So
that great tension, like high stakes great tension building.
I hated it. It was not my favorite.
Yeah.
But it was a good fit for the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but obviously 80s, but I think of, like, I'm a Barbie girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Which is not 80s. It's
no,
90s.
But it's still epic.
We were feeling it with this party.
We were feeling it with
Which was so funny and sad because they were like, you can't come in less because they didn't see him with Mercedes.
Yeah.
And then she sees Paolo.
Like, what a shitty thing for her to do to him. Like, she picked up, she had Les come and pick her up just so she can go and see Impalo, or whatever his name is.
Was that the whole thing? Because I thought she just didn't notice he didn't come in behind her.
Nah.
I didn't think she knew that Paolo was there, but...
No, she used him for a ride and then just ditched him, essentially. Like, she didn't give a shit if he got in or not.
See, I felt like there was no clue that she was trying to get Paolo. I thought it was just a coincidence because...
Well, I mean, I think she knew because she already was like...
Are we Team Mercedes or Team not Mercedes?
I don't know.
I was rooting for her. I thought she was sweet, but who knows? Maybe she was catty. I don't know.
Maybe she, you know what? Woman scorned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like how she took a whole champagne bottle.
For reals, though. And, like, I mean, how often have you and I wanted to do something like that? Let's be really honest now.
What, steal champagne?
Well, no, go track down your ex, make an embarrassing show for everybody, and then grab a whole bottle of champagne and then run out.
I did that when I was, like, in my teens.
Well, she's a teen.
Exactly. So you just do it once and you're good.
Okay. So
I didn't steal champagne, though.
Oh, well, then that was your oversight. But that means that we are Team Mercedes, okay? We understand her motivations behind this.
Fair. So, yeah, and so she gets mad, runs out.
Yeah.
And, of course, when they parked, we forgot to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
How he wouldn't let the valet park the car.
He was so funny with how protective he was with his car. It was so cute.
Which I get. He didn't want to fuck it up. And so when they came back out, and it was only like 2 minutes, and they are towing his car away.
Yeah. 2 minutes.
Again.
And then there's like other cars parked along the same curb too, and it's only his car that gets
just
towed.
that spot, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. It was funny.
Only caddies today. I don't know.
But you know what I noticed? And I didn't put this together until after the movie had percolated for a little while. Les noticed at any time that Les was driving the car, nothing bad happened to it. No damage to it, no nothing. It wasn't until the drunk driver got into the car when everything went off the rails and the car started getting serious damage.
Well, you say that. But when they pulled up to that Sherry's or whatever, that dining, or when they slid into the parking spot, that must have been damage. And I know you pointed at that little scratch.
Yeah,
but I
there's
was like,
that little thing. But that was it.
The shocks that, like, it could not have been.
I mean, there was there's probably structural damage or the shocks or whatever. But on the whole, like on the outside, literally nothing wrong with that car at all.
Yeah.
The thing was a beast. And then it was driven by a drunk driver, and that's when it started getting all the damage. I was like, well, shit, maybe Les just has some really awesome guardian angels.
No, okay, real quick.
Uh-huh.
I'm putting holes in your theory because...
Dang it!
Sorry, but after he chases down the tow truck guy and gives him money, Mercedes like, I'm so sorry with my open bottle of champagne, but I have a spot. And did you not hear all the scratching of the bushes? I was cringing because I could feel the scratches.
Or when she's dancing on the hood of the car. Oh, yeah. No, I got you there. But even then, it didn't look all that scratched. It was fine. That car, in and of itself, was a really cool character. Like, it was just a cool character. It put up with a lot of shit, but it wouldn't put up with the slow 80s romantic music.
Correction, it was a cool car. I'm not giving it a character name. It's not my favorite.
No, it was a character. It refused to play that cheesy ass music that it had in there, so it chewed it up and spit it out. And then it refused to stop playing Frank Sinatra, which I thought was epic as well. It was totally a character. Come on.
The tape, the cassette tape, that's pretty cool.
My old
Anyways,
Camry still had a cassette tape deck in the dash.
I wonder if any of them have it now. Does mine?
Probably not.
Nope, mine does not.
Yeah,
and that's an 07. So yeah, they dance in the car. She drinks all the wine. She dents the car. And then, yeah, the whole thing was like, it was cute, but not because she was drunk. And he was like, he was totally worried about his car. And then she passes out. It was all around secondhand embarrassment again. I can't get over it.
Yeah.
Where were her parents? She seemed to be doing a lot of things. Paulo looked like he was 22.
Where were her parents? Where were the other guy's parents as well?
Well, obviously Dean's mom was with.
Yeah, at one point. So anyway, she passes out in his lap, and then they go to Dean's house to get the dent hammered out of the hood of the car. But this is where that little line comes in where Dean says, "Oh, don't worry, my parents are vampires." Right? That's from the Lost Boys.
He said that. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Ah.
But then, using a rubber mallet on a Cadillac hood, come on. Anyway.
I'm no mechanic, but... Oh, also, I laughed really hard because Dean also said, this Mercedes has a dead battery. And I actually did. That was really funny.
It was really funny.
Terrible. She was out cold, but it was funny. Oh, and at this point, Les hasn't told them that he does not have a license, so they all think he has a license. and they're trying to get him to go to this like party, or it was like a roller skate. Like, it looked like a Sonic.
And I know, right? I cannot handle that kind of stress. Tell your friends you don't have a license, please and thank you.
But then he wouldn't be cool.
What could go wrong?
Who cares?
So yeah, and then now Les is literally driving like a grandpa, like negative 20 miles an hour. Got passed by a street sweeper.
Yes.
But I would like to point out it is also against the law to drive too slow. So that was breaking the law too.
So he's lucky he didn't get pulled over.
I was going to say, very lucky. If he had paid attention during driver's ed, he might have known that.
And then I like how it gives us a glimpse of waiting for a light and he might race this other car. And I thought for a second he just might step on the pedal. And he didn't.
I love the setup, though. It was pretty awesome.
It was a good setup, for sure. Then this is also another time where I thought Dad was going to find out he's gone. Because Mom keeps waking up.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Okay, this is the part where I really had a problem. This is the part where, like, I wish they would just cut this out. But
when they were on the highway and he almost died?
Yeah. Because of them taking pictures.
Oh, yeah. That was inappropriate.
Very, very inappropriate. So Dean's character gets a hold of the camera and he starts taking pictures, very inappropriate pictures of Mercedes while she's passed out. This is my biggest issue with the movie.
But at least Les was like, what the fuck? And
that,
of course, they needed to give a reason for them to almost drive off the road.
Yeah. Of course. Like, I was like,
stupid shit.
Yeah.
So they're at this place. Their friend Charles takes Mercedes in, but like she's passed out. Charlie was like trying to get her to drink soda or whatnot, and the Coreys are outside. And of course, I'm like, the Coreys. Dean says to Les, to live in fear is to not live at all. And I was like, that's such great advice. But this isn't the time to use that advice.
No, it isn't.
This is wrong. And don't listen to Dean.
Yeah, right?
So,
what a little shit stirrer.
And then they put Mercedes in the trunk.
And then, so they put Mercedes in the trunk, and then she's like, nighty-night, daddy. Weird.
I don't even feel bad she was in the trunk because of later. But anyways, we'll talk more about that later.
So then they all go to Archie's.
Yes. Where, like, the guys are outnumbered. Like, all these babes, man. So let's put the babe in the trunk so we can go meet more babes. I don't get how guys think. Like, but whatever. So they get there. And they're not there very long because Charles hits another car with the caddy door. And that can cause some fucking damage. And out of all the people there that are all girls, it's like these buff dudes.
Of course.
That were not happy. And then it was like, roll up the windows. And it just got more and more out of hand. More secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
And then they started driving away. And they were lucky. They
were really lucky. Again with the luck. And then the big bad boys crashed into somebody else, so that put it into that.
So yes, now they're on the road again.
So yeah, then they run into the peaceful protester thing where Natalie is.
Like, how did I get here? They're just in the wrong place, wrong time.
They're totally in the wrong place.
Everything. Sees his sister for a minute.
Yeah, so then they are towing all the cars away from the protest. The military's coming in hot, and Les realizes that's his sister's, that's Mom's car being towed, and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty funny.
At that point, Dad turns off the TV that's covering the protest.
Yes, I forgot that was going on at the same time.
So they could have seen them on the news. I think the caddy was driving by or something.
Right. It was right there. So then after that, they hit up a checkpoint.
Yes.
So Les, of course, is freaking out at the checkpoint.
This is where I need to tell you. At the start of this movie, I don't know why, but this movie, for it being like PG-13, some stuff, it had a Disney feel to it.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
And I couldn't get past that because it was like, it felt like it was just on like a Disney Channel to watch, but it had like that feel of those kind of movies.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think that tripped me out the most while watching this. Because it kept getting worse and worse. I'm like, this ain't no Disney movie.
It had definitely that Disney movie flair, but then it reminded me a lot of Ferris Bueller as well.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I see that a little bit.
Yeah, so I think maybe because I was in more of that frame of mind, I thought it was way more hilarious than it probably really was. But, you know.
All right. Well, this part was not hilarious. Like, it was, but wasn't.
Okay, so they opened up the trunk. Obviously, oh shit, there's a girl in the trunk.
Luckily, she said something like... She smiled and said nice things.
Oh, yeah. She was like, oh, hi, Les. You know, yes. She was really happy about it.
If she was distraught or something, it would have gone way worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that they get pulled over. He doesn't have a license. The cops take him out of the car, search them, I'm guessing, because of how they were standing.
Mm-hmm.
See the girl in the truck. But then another cop comes up and was like, we have a bigger issue.
Yeah.
And the second cop looks at them and is like, this is your lucky night.
Yeah, he's like, you got lucky, pal.
Well, there are times where that happens. I felt like this situation that wouldn't happen. But it must have been a big thing.
Well, it was the protest.
Oh, there was a protest? Is that what it was?
That's what it was. So they were calling in all units to stop the protest and all the destruction happening with the protests and stuff.
And so they leave, like, the kids and the drunk driver? It just makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. Not even a little bit. But, you know, whatever. It's a movie.
Okay, so the cops leave, and then all of a sudden they are standing around, and the drunk guy takes their car.
Okay, so the the drunk gets into the caddy, and he takes off. And then Les realizes what happens, and he goes, oh, my God, I'm so dead, they'll have to bury me twice.
Yeah. I felt that.
I felt that deep in my soul.
But they jumped in his car and chased after him.
Yeah, which I don't think I've ever seen a beetle move that fast, but okay.
It was an epic scene. And then, like, jumping over. It was just all a lot. Oh, and when they crash, the guy's like, honey, I'm home. And Dean's like, who is this guy? All right, so that happens. And miraculously, the car still works. So
holy shit. And then, like, okay, that whole stunt of Les jumping over to the Cadillac and just to stop the Cadillac from crashing, that's insane.
It was intense, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was in culture shock because the car was already fucked up and there was no way he was getting out of this night.
Oh, yeah, no,
so
not even a little bit.
I just felt bad for him. Les drops off his friends, and then he drops off Mercedes. And as he is walking her to the house, she was talking about her dream about basically being in the trunk.
Oh,
She was like, it was nice and warm. And it was like, okay, well, if you liked it. But I like how she thought it was all just a dream.
Right? Oh, my God. I'm really glad that she wasn't in the trunk of the Cadillac while that asshole was driving it.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously. That would have been
right.
bad.
But then, you know, mom's in labor. The dad's a freaking mess. Now, this is not his first rodeo, but he's a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. And Les pulls in right as they're coming out of the garage. And Les just hides in the car. And Dad's just like, what's happening? The other car's not here. This one's all beat up. Like, it was just like...
When he sees Les hiding in the car, the look on his face.
So I could relate to the dad so much of like, I'm going to take everything away. And he was like, you had a nice home and you had a nice bed. You had nice friends and no more. I felt that.
Oh, I'm sure every parent could relate to that though. I mean, for real. Like,
yeah. And then of course what saves him, he's all like, you know, thank God your mom's not in labor. And she's like, I'm in labor. And the car still works, so I like how she's like, let him drive. She was like the reasoning.
Yeah.
I think she was onto something. Because, see, parents have to even each other out. Because you can't be too hard without the other parent to help.
Yeah, I will say that she was the calm and collected one through the entire movie.
Yes.
Really, really cool. I liked her a lot. Then that's when the car, like, the hubcaps are falling off. It doesn't want to drive anymore. The transmission is not working, so they have to drive in reverse. And it's just...
And that was a little too much. Like, yeah, he did it. It was cool scenes. But I was like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like a parent would let their kids do it if the car was that fucked up,
Yeah.
But anyways, it made a
Yeah.
good story. And
I mean, wouldn't you, especially in the 80s, wouldn't you just pop over next door and be like, hey, neighbor, will you drive me to the hospital, please?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, yeah.
Maybe even call
Anyway.
them on your landline. You know? Remember those?
Maybe.
I know people still have those. Anyways, but yes.
Yeah, I think I agree with you here. I think this is where the movie just kind of jumped the shark a little bit for me. This whole ending bit was just a little too extra.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did want to point out that when they got there, they all get out of the car, and then the construction beam came down.
Mm-hmm.
That,
Again, Les
like,
was not in the car.
Well, the thing is, that right there, like, they all saw it went down. They could have totally got...
Please.
Like,
Yes.
They must have had insurance.
Yes.
Grandpa must have had insurance. There must have been
That company should have paid for a total restoration of that car.
I know, because they could have said... They couldn't tell before if it was damaged.
Yeah.
Like, what they did that night already. Like, they could have... I hate that they didn't address that.
I know.
But anyways...
And that's, I think, obviously at that point, I was like, yeah, this movie is just totally checked out.
And then it shows later on when Grandpa gets his car. You see Mom has twins. Everyone's kind of happy, but not, because they're having a hard time answering the door. And they do, and they show Grandpa the car.
Yeah?
Well, what is it?
What? What's the matter? Dad, what is it? Why are you laughing?
Here, I had a little trouble with your car, too.
My BMW?
Son of a bitch!
It's like, do these people have good insurance? I hope.
But then Mercedes pops in, and she's just like, honk, honk, hey, come in my car, which looked pretty fucking familiar, didn't it?
No, I saw it. It was pretty.
It was a
It's
pretty car.
rabbit. Was it a rabbit?
I think it might have been a cabriolet, actually.
I was going to say it was very close.
It was very, very close. Same body style, same everything. That was my car, basically. That was my car, only black. Mine was black. Convertible, had the roll bar, all the things. Yeah. And also mold in the backseat. It was pretty great.
I was going to say it had a lot of mold at the end of its
And then
life.
Sophie broke the door handle off once because the door was frozen solid to the frame of the car.
Dude, I just remember the smell. I can smell that car. It was so old. Anyways. So, Billy, how would you rate this movie?
I think I'll give it a 7.
All right.
It's losing some major points because of the ending being kind of cattywampus, and obviously the part where Dean is taking pictures of Mercedes without her consent and being a general jackass. But other than that, I thought it was great, and I would probably watch it again because it's hilarious.
All right.
How about
All
you?
right.
What do you think about the movie? Did I convince you that it might be better than you think it is?
No.
Oh, damn. Okay, fine. What do you think?
I think I'm going to do a 4 out of 10.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ow.
Well, here's the thing. There are movies out there that have the perfect suspense. Ooh, here's where Jack Nicholson comes in for The Departed. Have you watched it yet?
No, I have not. Sorry.
Okay, you need to watch it because that's a good suspense where you're like, oh god, like, are they gonna figure it out? You know?
Yeah, right.
But this one had that cringe and secondhand embarrassment through the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm biased because we're adults now and maybe I see myself in those characters.
I definitely did.
Or the fact that I was like half Disney, half like raunchiness. It was confusing to me.
Okay, fair enough.
So
fair enough.
I would not put this on again, just for my personal preference of a movie. So, my cat is meowing right now at the door because his food's in there, here.
But
and he probably has
knows-
to go outside. What a fucker.
And he knows it's me that you're talking to.
Maybe.
Have you spoiled him anymore?
He's a spoiled brat. Everyone spoils him.
You guys, she wouldn't even let her cat just stay on her bed when I was there.
Well, why would I
pet
let him?
the shit out of him because he was starved.
He can be at the end of the bed.
That's
you
true.
ruined it. We cuddle in the morning.
No, that's true. Sorry.
So now he demands it all the time. So that's a problem for me. For this movie, would you want them to remake it today?
Yeah, I think I would actually.
Okay.
But man, it would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know if they could make it today. If they did remake it today, it probably wouldn't do very well because it wouldn't be that popular of a story, really.
I don't know. They have stupid movies out there.
For real. And if they really hyped up the car angle, then yeah. But, I mean, we don't really have many teeny bopper type of movies anymore.
Like
which
that.
is a shame. Yeah. And this is such just a perfect snapshot of what the 80s were. It's almost like that's like most of the charm of it is that it's an 80s movie.
And to me, I feel like it's more of a before cell phones. More like when I was 16. I got my first flip phone. No, when I was 17.
Uh-huh.
But before that, like, you didn't have any connection.
Mm-mm.
But now you always have that connection, so it's a little different.
It is.
But they could still play with it. They could probably remake this. And I feel like they've remade this in some way already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they?
I mean, a car chase is a car chase.
Right. Well, just the whole, like, going out, partying, like a whole night thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which I know that they've probably made about young adults that aren't like their parents waiting at home.
Yeah.
But it's time to move on because this movie.
Oh, yeah. Do you have the box of goodness?
I do. I remembered this time.
Hey!
I don't know how I remembered, but I did.
Dude,
Are we
no
ready?
joke. My stomach just got excited again. I'm like nervous excited. Okay.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
Too much. All right.
I'm always too much.
There's so many. Okay. All right. We are going to be watching Popeye.
No! Oh, God!
1980. I don't know if she's happy or sad.
No, I'm not happy. This is like the worst movie. I love Robin Williams, but this is like legit, like, oh, God.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, God. I can't. Like, you're going to make me watch this shit? Okay.
I'm not making you. You made us do this when we started
your
this
idea.
podcast.
This whole thing was your idea.
Well, I didn't make the movies in the 80s. I just
Okay,
put them
fair
in a
enough.
box, okay?
Fair enough. I think I want to say, and I'll look this up, but I want to say that Robin Williams viewed this movie as probably the worst one he's ever done. I want to say.
I can name a few that I think are worse already, and I haven't seen this one. But we'll see. We can
Dude.
compare next week. Next week on Silver Screen Sisters. But yeah, we should actually, this is the perfect time to give our audience our information again.
Yes.
That we always
let's do
give
it.
to them. But, you know, take it away.
Okay, so how to get in touch with us. We have a website, silverscreensisters.com. We have a contact form on there. All you have to do is just fill it out real quick and let us know if you have any questions, concerns, comments. Tell us about your favorite 80s movie. Tell us about, like, maybe, did you watch License to Drive? What was your favorite part? What was the least favorite part? Do you want to watch it again? Do you never want to watch it? Ever?
Are you Team Billy or Team Sophie?
Are you Team Mercedes? Let us know. We also have social media everywhere. We have a Facebook page, Facebook group, Twitter, Instagram. Find us. You can just Google us, Silver Screen Sisters. Of course, I'm a slacker, and I haven't actually put the links to any of those social medias on our website yet.
God, it's like we have lives outside of this.
I know, right? I think that's it. Oh, yeah, and our email address is connect@silverscreensisters.com if you want to drop us a line.
Beautiful. All right, guys, you heard that. You know where to find us. It's so late. I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, even though you're not, for Popeye.
This ought to be great.
But anyways, we will see you next week.
Love you, Sophie, and
I love
will.
you too.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Well,
all right. I'll talk to you later.
Bye. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, check out our website at silverscreensisters.com. Silver Screen Sisters 80s edition is hosted by Billy and Sophie. Editing is done by Sophie, and cover art was done by Billy, with special illustration work done by Bacencia. Intro and outro music composed by Future Mono, and hold music composed by the Mini Vandals. This is a Silver Screen Sisters production and is powered by Coffee and Yoga Pants.